Peace, everybody. Welcome to the room. Peace, everybody. Welcome to the room. How's everybody doing today? Drinking a smoothie right here. It's 11:26. My first thing I'm eating today. Hey, Peace Paradise. You said, how am I doing? How's my family doing? We're doing well. Very well. Out here in Hawaii. Enjoying it. Our time, whatever is coming to us. The real Serena says your wife looks amazing. Yeah, she's been looking very beautiful lately and just healthy, in general, just healthy, because health is beautiful, The more healthy you get, the more in tune with yourself you get, the more you start caring for yourself, the better you're gonna look, So a lack of care for oneself, a lack of emphasis on self-care and bettering oneself is gonna take you away from beauty. It's gonna take you down the path of what we perceive as to be unfavorable, unpleasant. But yeah, man. Oh, I forgot to pin my comment. Okay. Yeah, because I just want to talk about a couple things today. Because everybody always talking about cures and throwing cures here, cures there, and there's a cure for everything. But I don't believe there's anything anywhere that can cure anything. I don't think that there's one plant that can cure you. I'm of the belief that your body heals itself and that your natural state is to be healthy. When you're not healthy, when you're sick, when you're experiencing a state of being in dis-ease, you simply just need to return to a state of health. And so it's not about taking one thing that's going to heal you. It's about returning to the state from which you originated from. Because if you're at one point, most of us were born healthy, right? Or we're at some point healthy, and then along came this thing that threatened our well-being and manifested as some disease or something like that. Everything can be reversed, though, because it took something to get you there. It took a certain lifestyle, a certain diet, a certain way of thinking to get you to that point. If you can just do something different than that, you can reverse and heal yourself from that ailment. You could return to health. There's no cure. There's no one thing. I guarantee you, don't matter how much sea moss you take, it's not going to cure you of anything, because it's not just one thing. It can be a part of the components to get your body back in track to its natural state, which is to be healthy and thriving, but it's not going to be the cure-all, be-all, end-all for your issues, because some of these issues aren't even physical. They're emotional, they're psychosomatic, they're mental, they're just a whole host of things that are unbalanced within us that need to come into balance. And unless we address everything, we're not going to be in a balanced and healthy state. So, and there's many approaches, and that's why I don't stick to any diets. That's why I choose to do my own research and be my own guinea pig, because science has gotten out of hand. Science has got to the point where they're debating each other. Like, scientists going against each other. Some scientists are saying that you should eat plant-based. Some scientists are saying, like, that's completely false. You should eat animal products, and they both got science to back it up. So we've gotten to the point that we've been so saturated with information that now comes the time for common sense. See, we threw common sense out the window in a strive to think that science was going to fulfill every single need and question that we could ever ask it. But along the way, we found out that it's deeper than the surface, and there's many different perspectives and angles, and everybody's got vested interests. So to really believe in science wholeheartedly without life experience to test it for yourself is a foolish mistake, in my opinion, because we need to test our knowledge out for ourselves. Therefore, be wisdom. Let it be wisdom, because without experiencing the knowledge, if we're just teaching everybody this, like Serenity was making she was making something and she put garlic in it, and somebody just said, "Oh, garlic is a poison," and I'm just like thinking, I wonder if that person said that having done research, having done experimentation with self, and then gaining a conclusion based off of that, or did they just see a meme that somebody posted with attributing it to somebody who is of some merit, and therefore they found it legitimate, and that's the way we operate now, because we're saturated with information. With the social media age, people just see shit like, oh, look at this page is posting all kinds of information, but you just run with it. You don't even test it for yourself. You don't even do the research. How you really supposed to know if that's good for your body? And this is what's coming to is common sense, man. Like, it's really just common sense that you can't lock yourself into one way of being. It's just common sense. Like, we never throughout the history of existence have we just been locked into a paradigm of somebody else's creation. We've always gone through nature. We've always interacted with the elements. We've always been in a natural setting and connected to the environment enough to know what we needed for our bodies to survive and thrive in that environment. We didn't have to go to social media gurus to tell us what to eat, but we've lost sense of that thing within us that allows us to feel what we need, that allows us to instinctually find for ourselves the things that our body is requiring at any given moment. And also, we got to put into practice, or we got to think about context, because everybody's going through a different situation. Everybody's at a different stage in their life. Indigenous people didn't give the same food to a pregnant woman that they did to a regular woman or a child or a man or a warrior, because they understood she's going through a certain time. She needs more calories. She needs a certain type of nutrients. These nutrients are more concentrated in this food, so we're going to give her this food. But we don't do that anymore. Now we just like blanket, everybody be vegan, everybody be paleo, everybody be this, be that. And we've been trained actually to tune out the very signals that our body gives us to actually bring something into our reality that could help us, So I think that's very interesting, because the more we walk into this information saturated reality that we created for ourselves, the more bombarded we get with a bunch of theories. We get bombarded with a bunch of misinformation, things that are simply just not true, that somebody fantasized and romanticized to be true, and people run along with it for the simple idea that they resonate with it on some level that's not even real. They resonate on a level that's just basically like in the thought plane. It's just like, that sounds dope, okay, but like, is it real? Like, is it a substantial thing that you can generate time and time again the same result, And so why are we doing this? What we should be doing is looking at those kind of things, testing us for ourselves, and be like, no, that did not work for me personally. So I don't have that experience, And so this has been my journey, walking away from a lot of things that I have boxed myself into, and to come into realization, like, bruh, like, these people, and then realizing that a lot of the information that you guys are getting, those accounts coming to me, asking me questions, trying to get guidance from me, because they know I go through experience, and then posting it on social media, accounts that have 200, 300,000 followers, which is interesting to me, because it's like, if you have that much influence over people, you have 200,000 people that you're influencing, but your information is being backed up by somebody who's not even in the limelight, who's not even famous like that, because you're not willing to do the research for yourself or go there yourself. I think that's a responsibility that you shouldn't put on yourself, just because people want followers, right? Everybody wants a group of followers. Everybody wants to have 1 million followers, but for what? If you had 1 million followers, what would you do with 1 million followers? Would you be able to coach them and direct them in the right way? Would you be able to help them? Would you be able to help them heal from whatever is ailing them, to heal their traumas, to heal their body, get them back in a path that's going to be more functional for them, and give them a goal and outcome that's desired in a more healthy fashion? Or are you simply wanting followers for the sake of having followers, for your own ego, to big up yourself and make yourself feel better? Now ask yourself that question. Because if it is the latter, then I think it is a selfish, and it is actually a detriment to human society to be guiding people in the wrong direction, man. We have a responsibility. Anybody that has any type of following has a responsibility to really go and dive deep into research, to go and dive deep into self-exploration, to know if things are true for themselves, not just merely go based off what people are saying online. You know, it's a whole different component. It's a whole different thing that, you know, like me for myself, like recently I just did a 3-day water fast, which is, you know, not much for me because I've done 40-day water fasts, but it got me back into the mind of thinking like, man, there's something here in the body. There's this innate wisdom in the body. There's something going on here, this physiological processes that we don't fully tap into nor understand. The way you're heightened, your senses are heightened, the way your mind starts to function in that state of calorie restriction, it's like it does something different. Then I was looking into the research on neurogenesis. Neurogenesis is the process through which the body creates new brain cells. Neuro meaning, you know, relating to the nervous system. Genesis meaning, you know, beginning or creation. So the creation of new brain cells, neurogenesis, is a very important thing that I've been looking into, because most of us are actually depleting our neurons in our brain cells. We're not able to think clearly. We're not able to memorize and make connections and articulate ourselves in the best way possible, because we're actually have a lot of assaults on the nervous system. We have neurotoxins in our environment, and we're just not eating the foods that are promoting neurogenesis in our brain, you know. And because we are conditioned to stay away from certain foods that actually do promote neurogenesis, because we want to be part of a following, you know. And so I had to walk away from that, because to me, what's more important is my health. What's more important is my well-being and being in tune with my own nature, so I could be a better reflection to the world around me, being whatever it is, being a better father, husband, friend, or even just a mammal in nature. I want to be the best of that I came here to be, you know. So understanding that, I have to like look at things differently. So, you know, I have to do things differently. So I was looking up what it causes neurogenesis and what promotes this, the growth of certain things, because, you know, I feel like I'm very conscious about my health. I'm very conscious when things are shifting in my health, in my body. So anytime I feel the slight, one thing that I have dealt with for many years is anxiety and nervousness. And whenever I feel that creeping back up, I feel like it's a time to do something about it, because I fell off for a while, because after coming out of carbonation and in carbonation, I was just not eating. I was not eating consciously. It was just the food there was just subpar, in my opinion, to optimal health and to healing myself and becoming more within myself, in my opinion, you know, and through the research that I've done, you know. So now coming out of that, I just had to snap out of that and get back into my old self, get back into the self of progression and evolving and working on myself to the point where it becomes an everyday task, and I feel good about myself that day knowing that I worked on myself. So I'm getting back into that groove. But the fasting is a state of calorie restriction that enables the body to actually go into a different altered state, in which you can tap into other areas that you might not be able to tap into otherwise. And it's not just the physical, it's also the mental, and it's also aspect that we might call spiritual, you know, connecting to that beyond which we can tangibly understand and be able to pinpoint. But all those aspects really get focused on when you're in this state. So that's one of the things I love about being in this state, is that it puts me there, and it allows me to analyze myself and gives me a fresh start. You know, it really balances myself. And there's a lot of research. You know, I've been doing research for years on fasting, and I've seen a lot of things been proven in my reality to be efficient and to work with fasting. So I can't knock it because somebody else said it. I got to do it, test it for myself, and I recommend you and I invite you to do the same thing. Whenever you hear something, see something, don't run with it before you get a chance to test it for yourself. Don't be telling people garlic is poison until you actually get poisoned by it, or actually, experience some negative effects of it. Or, and I'm not saying to go crazy with it, but you can test it. Asians have been eating this for hundreds of years, and so, and it's all, like I said, it's in context as well, because we all have different genetic expressions, and we all come from different backgrounds and have different contexts. So I say that plays a role as well. But my main focus and my point to share with you is that before you can start regurgitating things back to people and being like, oh, this is this, and being self-righteous about it, make sure you do your due diligence in putting into practice in your own life in order to verify that information is true. Okay, and that goes for all the alkaline things, all the things Dr. Sebi said, all these people online are saying. I'm not picking on just one person, but the paleo community. Anything anybody online ever says, before you go out and preach it as gospel, make sure that you integrate it into your life for a substantial enough time and be able to analyze and see the results of that before sharing that and condemning other people when they are doing something other than that. Let me take a sip. Hey, peace, Ayana. Oh, man, it's so good. Actually went for a run, did a workout, and then I was like having a conversation on the phone, and then I finally had my first smoothie of the day. And in here is actually blueberries, which is actually neurogenesis. It promotes neurogenesis as well. The blueberries in here. What else is in here? There's bananas in here. There's some dates. I put one pastured egg, which also promotes neurogenesis. I put coconut oil, which is good for neurogenesis. Promotion of new brain cells. If you haven't heard it, if you weren't listening earlier. What else I put in here? I don't know. I forgot what else I put in here, but it was. I think that was about it. Blueberries. Keep it pretty simple. I put some peanut butter in there. Usually I get really complex with these things. It's like 20 ingredients, but my focus right now, I've been focused on neurogenesis, just trying to bolster more brain power, and I feel like it's working because I feel like I'm able to articulate myself better than I have in the past. Like the other day, I was just talking, and information was just flowing out of me because being in like this state of calorie restriction, or even with digestion, right? Like this is a smoothie is essentially a pre-digested meal. Hey, Love and Light, do I put any greens in my smoothies? Yeah, I actually, last night I did a green smoothie, so it just depends. I switch it up throughout the day. So right now I'm just doing like smoothies, and I'm kind of liquefying and pre-digesting all of my food. One of the reasons is I'm horrible at chewing, man. Like I know we're supposed to chew really well and masticate the food to the point where it becomes like mushy and watery and it's very easy to digest. But I don't be doing that, man. I just be swallowing food. So my digestive system really, it takes a toll. Like I know my digestive system got to work harder than it should because of that very same reason, So I be getting I be burping and stuff like that, and be getting gas and stuff because of that reason. Because the better you digest food, or the more you masticate it, the better and more efficient your body's gonna be at metabolizing that food. So with smoothies, it's like every meal is pre-digested. You just blend it up, and your body don't gotta work as hard to eat the food, So, but I recommend if you're eating food, just try to chew it as best as you can. But I'm just taking a little break from solid food and just doing the smoothie so I can pre-digest it better. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, I feel like my brain has been working better since just we eat too much. I feel we eat too much, man. We eat too much of the wrong shit. We're too clogged up, and our body's usually not efficient the way we eat food. Like I truly believe that we need to reset sometimes, and I don't think that everybody got to do a long ass fast and everybody got to do all this crazy shit that I be doing. But I think that it's important that, maybe once a year we take time. Nah, I can't taste the egg. Serenity said, "Can you taste the egg?" Nah, I can't taste it. It's mostly blueberries actually, but yeah, I feel like it's important for people to take a little break or do a cleansing of self in any way possible, in whether it be physical, whether it be on a spiritual, for spiritual reasons, or for everything, just to completely reintegrate back into a healthier way. I feel like for me, fasting has been one of those things where, yeah, I use a whole egg because I don't like to compartmentalize. Like, I don't want to be like, oh, the yolk only. And actually, if you look on some of the studies of cholesterol and the way the studies were done, and I've been learning about that too, about how some of the science is a lot of it is backwards, and cholesterol is actually a good thing. You want healthy levels of cholesterol in your body, but that's a whole different topic. Actually, I want to have my friend on soon so he could kind of give the other perception, because all you hear about is the alkaline and the vegan and the this whole fasting way of life. But I want him to get on here so he can shed some light from another perspective, because anytime in life you have one person saying one thing, you want to hear the other person who's saying the other thing, the opposite of that. You want to give both people a chance to speak their argument. So I want to have him on here so he can give the science behind why some of the things that he's doing are beneficial. So yeah, that's about it. Oh yeah, I want to talk about the app before I go. Yeah, man, I'm getting ready to release this really dope app. It's gonna be available on Android and on iOS as well. But I really feel like this app can revolutionize the world, because when I had the idea for this app, it was a couple years back. It was at least 3 or 4 years, maybe 5 years ago, that I had this idea for this app, and it's like barely coming into fruition. But I really feel like it has the potential to like make a lot of change in the world. And it really moved me when I had this idea. It was like a spark. I was on a bus and just seeing my environment, analyzing it. I had the idea and I started writing it down. I started writing the mission statement, what it was going to be about, how it was going to look. And it's finally coming into fruition. Things are kind of lining up, definitely lining up synchronistically. I've met people who are helping me with it. And now we're getting ready to release it. Yep. Yeah, Yana. Oh, you say you've been eating me, and oh yeah, I remember you were telling me about that. Yeah, man, it just depends. Like I said, it's all in context. Listen to your body and tune into it. So with the app, I'm getting ready to release it. But yeah, I'm really excited because this is dope. Like, it's really gonna be dope. Like, my idea for people to share food with each other and be able to easily, accessibly, and conveniently be able to do that is actually coming into manifestation. It's happening, and this is important because everybody talks about growing your own food, being self-sustainable, but this is actually going to encourage people to do that. It's going to encourage people to grow food in their own backyard. It's going to encourage people to use the food that they actually already have in their yard that they're not even using, and to be able to share it with somebody who actually does want it, so I noticed that. No, we're gonna start it in Hawaii, basically, Ayana. We're gonna start in Hawaii because Hawaii is actually the best place in the United States to launch this app, because of the way the laws are set up, and just because the 60% of the farmland of the land here is actually farmland, and it used to grow food and crops. So right here is actually the best place to start the app. And so we're launching it here, but I expect it to go worldwide. We just got to figure out the logistics and all that. But so this app is important because a lot of people let food go to waste. a lot of people are letting like we have avocado trees here. We have like several avocado trees here, but we can't possibly consume all these avocados, you know. So in order for that food not to go to waste, we're providing a digital farmers market of sorts, a place where people can actually exchange food, you know, and it's a digital farmers market, you know. It's a farmers market where you know, purchase the food online and then you just go pick it up from the person from. We're gonna integrate farms as well, and we just make it super accessible to people. So like, say you want to look in your area, see who has some fruit in your area. You just have a map, and it's gonna be actually show you the people in your area that are growing a certain food and they're selling a certain food. But not only that, it's gonna lower the prices of food. It's going to decrease the price of produce that you pay for, because the reason grocery stores and people are charging so much, because they got to make up for the rent that they're paying. They got to make up for the employees and all the costs that they're accumulating to even sell you this food. But this is going to cut that out, and this is going to provide an avenue for people to recycle food that they would otherwise just let go to waste, and be able to share with other people, you know. So, and it's going to create more community and self-sufficiency within the human structure, within the community, to be able to grow, be self-sufficient with the food, you know. And that's to me super important, because the food is one of the things that they try to hang us by the balls with, you know. They try to control us with, because once they get control of the food, they know that having control of the food is big, you know, because if they control the food, you know, they know you got to get food, so now they control you. But if we collectively agree that we're not going to buy from the grocery store, we're going to, and people always talk about this, right? Hey, why don't we just all grow different crops, and then we'll share it with each other. You grow this, I'll grow that, and then when they comes time to harvest, we'll exchange crops. Well, this is a perfect platform for you to do that in, you know. If you want to grow whatever you want to grow a little extra, so that when you want to, you know, sell that, you can sell that, you know. And we are so it's going to be an exchange platform, basically, you know. And to me, that's dope, because it's solving a solution, a couple solutions, or a couple problems. It's creating a couple solutions to a couple problems that that we have, which is, you know, especially here in Hawaii, there's a lot of there's a housing crisis, first of all, but there's also a lot of people who are, you know, less than fortunate to have food, so they're going on food stamps and stuff like that. But we can actually use this to create a more a platform where people can buy food at a cheaper price, you know, where they won't have to spend as much for the grocery store, because mangoes here can go for like $4 a pound, which is crazy. So I hope with the app we can cut that in half, maybe $2 a pound, you know. And I think that's completely possible, to cut that price in half, and also challenge the grocery stores to lower their prices as well, and compete, and let them know that we control the economy, we control the food, and we control what is popular out there and what people are using by what we choose to invest into. So if we choose to all use this app, we choose to all trade and exchange food with each other, then we'll be self-sufficient. We won't even need to go to the grocery store for a couple of things, you know, because we'll all be relying on each other, and that'll encourage people to even get more in tune with nature, get more in tune with the earth, and planting crops. That's a great question. That's Clark. Will you accept all food, or will you specify non-pesticide food? That's a great question. I really want to, and that's challenging, because then we get into some legal issues, because organic and all of that. What I do want to do, and what I want to promote, is for people to share their growing practices on their profile, because everybody's going to have a profile. If you're a grower and you're growing food, you're going to have your own profile, and I encourage people to put their growing practices, so people know how they're growing their food. So if anybody's curious, they could just go, oh, he grows his food using no pesticides, none of this, none of that. I want to buy from him, and then I'll encourage organic farming as well, you know. So I'm super excited, man. This is gonna be dope. So if you haven't yet, I made a profile. It's called Harvester Market. I made a Instagram for it. It's called Harvester Market, and so I really want everybody, as many people as possible, if you can, go follow Harvester Market, so that we can get people, get the ball rolling with this, and just generate interest towards this app, So a lot of people start using it. It hasn't been released yet, like I said, but that's coming within the next week or so. We're gonna be releasing the app on both platforms, and we're just I'm really excited, man. I'm super excited because I just want everybody to be using this app, and we're gonna go campaigning here, and we're gonna talk to farmers and talk to people and just encourage people to grow their own food, and then post it on the app and share it with each other. And the app is also going to have a schedule. So say you're not going to be home from certain times, you put, this is my schedule to pick up this food, and so people know when they can pick up that food when you'll be home. So and it's going to keep improving along the line. Like I don't think we have it all down perfect yet, but along the line we're going to improve on it as we go, as needs are presented, as people tell us like, oh, you should integrate this, integrate that. We're going to keep improving upon the app. But right now we're just in the developing stages as far as just unrolling it to the public and then seeing where it goes from there. But either way, I'm just super excited, man, and I hope that you guys support this, and I'm gonna be reaching out to people, and hopefully, we create a campaign to get people to use this app, and it becomes something big, where it becomes nationwide and eventually global. Shit, I want people, in other, Central America, Mexico, to be using this app in order to exchange food with their neighbors, because it's important. We got to grow our own food. We got to be more self-sufficient, and we got to learn to be in tune with the land to the point where we're growing food, because that is what sustains our body, what sustains our life. And if we don't have control on that, then people can control our life and hold the food over our head and make us do whatever we want, whatever they want, just because they know they control the food supply. But with food sovereignty, because it comes another form of sovereignty, another form of liberty, freedom that we haven't yet experienced, many of us, but I think is completely attainable. And I think this app is going to be a great gateway to do that. Okay? So yeah, like I said, follow Harvester Market and get in tune with that. I'm gonna be giving you more updates as we go, and I'm gonna be just promoting this because it's my the idea that I had a long time ago, and it's finally coming to fruition. It's like my little baby, that I've been cultivating over time, and it's finally blossoming into something, and I just really want to see it take off and become something big that could help a lot of people. In the big scheme of things, it's really going to help a lot of people, and that's what's most important, is doing things for the world that are actually helping the world, that are actually making an impact, that are actually increasing the health of people and our ecosystems and our planet as a whole, and creating more community and more communication, and just everything good, all goodness, and taking back responsibility and sufficiency over oneself. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up right there. I gotta go. I got a lot of stuff to do, but stay in touch. Still, if you need any work, hit me up. And here's your new baby. Wishing you all the best, bro. Love seeing people helping other people. Yeah, that's facts. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I can see. I have a lot of aspirations for this as well, so we'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes. So we gotta just test it first, and then eventually it'll be directed and guided where it's supposed to go, and evolve how it's supposed to go. But I'll see you guys. I'm about to go do some work, and hit me up if you need anything, and stay balanced. All right, peace.